And hello, everybody. My name is NikoTheLegend. I am also known as the Snowflake and/or the Well-Mannered Teenager. And today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be talking about something that I have not yet discussed on the YouTube channel, but it's very relevant to my YouTube channel and probably to a lot of you that can also relate. And we're not going to be doing this alone. We have a special guest that brought up the topic originally, which inspired me to want to do this to begin with, is our guest, NeroTheHero.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Welcome. It's an honor to have you here, sir. If you'd like to contact NeroTheHero, he does have a Twitter page. It's twitter.com. I copy and pasted the link. / capital N 3R0 capital T HE capital H 3R0. So NeroTheHero. So the links will be in the description below, and also he has a YouTube channel as well. He is also a content creator. I was actually looking at your YouTube channel, and I was like, okay, does he have an actual like official link to the channel? But it's just a bunch of numbers and scrambles. So there will be many links below, and then Nero, if you want to add any other platforms to how people can contact you, please let them know.
Those are pretty much the main ones. You pretty much got it covered.
Okay. Also, NeroTheHero does special podcasts with, oh my God, I forgot his name, Zero Score. Oh my God.
Yep.
Off Charge Shot. You can catch it on Patreon, correct?
Yeah, we have a website, and there's also a Patreon page that pretty much just gets you early access to the podcasts. If you can't afford that kind of thing, you can always just tune in regularly. It's every Friday. So, and we're at the point, I think we're just over 60 episodes. So even if you're just jumping in, you have plenty of backlog stuff to check out. So.
Yeah, and not to self-promote myself, but I was also a part of a Charge Shot podcast as well, and that was great. That was fun. We talked about avocados and open world gaming and stuff like that. So yeah,
Justin.
yeah, there will be many links below in regards to reaching out to NeroTheHero because he's a great guy. I'm glad to have him here. Okay, so Nero, you did a video on your YouTube channel about small YouTube channels.
I did, yep.
And you did 2 parts. And to be honest, I only watched the second part, so I do apologize if I missed out on the first part. But I definitely got the idea and what you were trying to discuss in it and talk about. If you want to just let people know, just not to put you on the spot, but just a quick rundown of what you were trying to get across, like point wise.
Okay, so quick rundown on just small YouTube. Well, I kind of feel like I said a lot of things because I tend to
Low down.
I tend to not script out my thoughts. I just kind of turn on the mic and just hit record and just go for it.
Same.
But it's just really interesting. It's a really interesting subject because there's people out there who are doing the whole YouTube thing just to do the YouTube thing, just using it just as purely as like a social network type of thing. But then there's other people who actually want to turn this kind of thing into a career and like make something out of it. So it's just really interesting because a lot of people who I've had conversations with and whatnot in the past have, I don't know, some people are really hard leaning towards hobby. Other people are really hard leaning towards, I guess, sort of professional career, hopefully, maybe someday, fingers crossed. And then there's even more people though that are kind of in the middle because they don't really know like what it is they want to do with their channel. And it's I don't know, I guess the video was a little bit more directed towards those people in the middle. If you're like into it as like a hobby sort of thing, there's certain things you can do to attract more people to your videos, and same deal if you're trying to monetize your videos and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, it was just kind of really just basically my thoughts, and the main thing about it is they're my thoughts based on my personal experience. And that's another thing that about this whole YouTube shenanigans and all that kind of stuff. It's like everybody's experience is going to be very, very different. Like you might get somebody who just starts their channel and just uploads videos, and next thing they know, they have 100 subscribers within like a month. Other people may not have 100 subscribers for like 2 years. It's not really something that's like oh, this person's definitely going to do great at this, or oh no, this person's definitely not going to do that great at this. It's one of those things. It's like a constantly evolving sort of thing. So it's just really interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah, and talking about that middle ground, like it's I would consider myself in that middle ground too, because like I like with anything, the main thing. I mean, it's just like you were talking about, just like you. I think it was like one of the last thoughts you had. You're like, it's just mainly on how you do anything in life, right? It's just like you have a goal, you have something you want to set out for. You're gonna have to work for it, right? You're gonna have to work a lot, but also you want to have fun at the same time, and then you kind of learn a bunch of stuff along the way. So it's like it's one giant learning curve, and YouTube is no different. Although a lot of people might see it the other way, because a lot of, I mean, let's just say you just got to be good at taking rejection and a lot of things. So being in the middle ground, like myself, and as you were saying, it's like, yeah, I want to have fun with this, but at the same time, if I'm having too much fun with it, then I'm not going to really. It's like, what is my goal? Like, am I really doing this for just a hobby? Am I just wanting to post up videos? But with me, it's like I also want it to be something that people can see and appreciate, because you know what they say, if you have talent, then why waste it? I'm not saying like either like I have like the main talent, but you get the idea. It's like you if you think you have this type of motivation, this type of profession that you want to get good at, then it's great to have people to see it along the way, kind of see you grow and seeing how you handle it, because you're always being watched. Whether you see it or not, you're always being watched. You're always being tested. There's always trial and error, trial by fire, whatever pun you want to use. And I think that's the main thing. It's like when other people aren't seeing you do it, what you're doing outside of your YouTube channel in particular, that's where it really matters. That's where the psychology takes place. It's like, like you were saying, like you lose a sub or two, and then you're like, oh shit, it's like my small channel, I'm just putting that out there, is getting smaller. It's like, how do I even handle this? It's like, what do I do? You look in the mirror and you're like, you do self-reflection, because you're seeing yourself, and it's like you see these imaginary cuts and bruises on you from people that are just kind of like shunning. I mean, not really shunning you, but just kind of just getting. I don't even know exactly, because you're not going to know exactly why people unsubscribe to you unless they make it well known. But you create your own demons, right? You decide how you want to take it. And then that goes with the whole basis of like, what do you consider your channel to be for small? As like a small channel with a lot of views or something, or like you have a good reach, but you're not getting the right subscriber count or the right type of subscribers or right viewers, or you see this million subscriber channel and they have a bunch of videos and a lot of views, but it's like, well, their content's not that great, so how are they even, I don't know. It's crazy, but that's like how you want to do it. You have to get creative. You have to, okay, well, how do I want to do this? Like, what's important to me when it comes to my YouTube channel? What am I bringing to the table that's so different from somebody else? Because to be original on YouTube is impossible. To me, it's impossible, because no matter what you do, no matter what you think, there's always somebody else that's doing it. And I wouldn't take that as a like, oh crap type thing. I take it as in like, well, other people have great ideas too, great minds think alike and all that. But it's the way you do it, the way you execute it, the amount of energy you put in it, the amount of content, the amount of creativity, how you're presenting yourself. And I think that's the main. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to the main psychology of it.
Well, aside from the, for lack of a better term, the more kind of hands-on challenges of YouTube, like uploading videos on time, keeping a schedule, or even if you do choose to keep a schedule. That's one thing about me it's like maybe like within the first month or two of my YouTube channel, I got on a vlog and I was like, okay guys, here's my schedule. I don't have a schedule. I want to take my time to make my videos, and I want them to be to a point to where I am satisfied with the quality before I even upload them. So there's things like that, but then at the same time, there's also sort of like the more internal stuff. It's kind of like you were talking about. It's more of like the mental mindset sort of aspect. Like, for example, you lose 2 subscribers. It's like, are you going to take it personally? Or are you going to be like, oh crap, like I lost those 2 subscribers because of that last video I did. I knew it was because of that last video I did. Or on the other hand, you can just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, I lost 2 subscribers. I'm not really going to get caught up on why I lost the 2 subscribers, because it could be any number of reasons. It could be, you know, who knows? It could have been a bot account. It could have been, you know, somebody, you know, just didn't use that particular account anymore. It was an inactive account, or maybe someone just didn't like you anymore. Maybe they didn't like the direction that your videos were going in. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like we were saying, like it's one of those things you're constantly changing. It's constantly evolving, not just the platform, but you yourself as a content creator. So your first video isn't going to be the same as the video you just uploaded yesterday. And no one expects it to be. And if it is the same as the video you uploaded yesterday, your first video, then you need some more practice, because you should be improving as this thing goes on. But aside from that, it's I think a lot of people where they end up, I guess, sort of like throwing their hands up and like, that's it, I'm over this shit, is when they kind of get into their own head too much. And that's kind of one of the challenges in that of itself, because it's not directly tied to the platform itself, because that's all you. Like how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your content, and, you know, how you handle, you know, setbacks or rejection or whatever. That's more of a thing that's kind of like a personal thing that you have to work on. And you also have to realize if it is an issue before you decide to move forward.
And yeah, because, you know, let's just put this on the table. YouTube is not for everyone. Let's just say it. It's just like with anything. It's like not everybody's going to want to be a doctor. Not everybody's going to want to be a musician or a painter or an actor or whatever you want to talk about, a professional athlete. It's not for everybody. YouTube's not for everybody. But I think what the problem is with these small channels, because there are millions and millions of small channels. So you have to think about, how am I going to get, I'm a needle in a haystack. That's how I always see it. It's like, I'm a needle in a haystack. How am I going to be that one needle that is, let's just say, has more of a shine than the other ones, that isn't rusty or dull? You know what I'm saying? That's still pretty sharp. And how do you do that? Well, for one, you have to, to me, it's great to have goals, and, you know, a main goal, and then you got to have small personal goals to work up to that big goal. That's fine. But when you're a person that's just like solely relying on YouTube as your only like place for you to be noticed in the world, then I'm sorry to say, but that's not how it's supposed to be, at least to me, because you don't want to be, I mean, for me, I like to be a jack of all trades. I don't want to be master of one thing, because, I mean, is there really such a thing as being a master at something? Because, like, as you were saying, Nero, you try your whole life to be a master at something, and then once you pass away or something, you only gained like maybe 10% of that field. That's like, and there's just so much. So, I just see it as in, you should be doing other things along with your YouTube channel that kind of helps blossom you to be into a content creator. Because personally for me, when I was getting into YouTube, I was in a band, I was writing a bunch of stuff, I was just doing I was doing other things to express who I am. It's mainly being a drummer and stuff, and which helped with a lot of creativity and all that. And then obviously people that you know and talk to, friends and stuff, that are they're pretty good at giving you some philosophical advice and just life in general. So you take what you gathered and you put it into what you know, into something you're trying to get good at. And in particular, what we're talking about is YouTube. That's kind of what you want to do. That's kind of the best mindset to go in it. Expect failure at every turn. That's the thing. Don't be surprised. Because, like you said, it's to me it's like it's okay to try it out, right? You want to just kind of just kind of peek open the door a little bit and look through to see what YouTube's all about, and that's okay if you want to just experiment a bit. There's nothing, no one's shunning you for experimenting, because it's like at least you tried. But if you fail at it, and a lot of people do fail, it just depends on how you handle the failure. It's like, okay. If you lost a certain amount of subscribers, that's basically it. The main thing. It's like, how do you handle that? It's even with getting subscribers too. It's not. See, that's the problem when YouTubers see it's like, oh, small channels are just small because they're losing something, or they're losing subscribers, or something isn't going their way for them. But just imagine how people feel that are going through when they get a lot of subscribers. Or you kind of have to think on both sides of the spectrum, because people who get a lot of subscribers, there's a new mentality that takes place. There's bigger shoes you have to fill, like your feet start growing, so your shoes have to get bigger, or you have to fit in those shoes. And just think about how people feel when, like I said, when they get like, I don't know, 100 subscribers overnight, and they wake up. It's like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting this. How do I handle this?
Right. More importantly, how do I maintain this? How do I keep these people? How do I keep these subscribers?
So it's either when you win or lose. It really depends on how you handle it. It's okay if you want to just stop doing the YouTube channel for a while. Although, to me, there's going to be a lot of personal stuff. My thing is, it's like if you are a YouTube creator and you have a certain amount of subs, like to me, when I see someone who has over 1,000 subs, for example, or I mean even 500, just depends on the channel, I guess, maybe the person, but mainly over 1,000. If they stop doing the YouTube channel, if they just get rid of their YouTube channel, they make it inactive or something, it gets me, especially for a person that I follow, that I subscribe to. I get a little heartbroken, because I'm like, why did you stop? It's like, you were doing it. You were doing it, and you'll never know why entirely. I mean, school, you get married or something. You have to something, school, job or whatever, which I understand. But it's like you make time for these things, right? Right. And it could be along that lines of, you consider your channel small. Maybe you were expecting to go faster, so it's like, it's like brain meltdown. And it's like there's no way of knowing YouTube for sure, because you don't know what those people do behind their computer screens. You don't know how their algorithms completely work. Whether you have good tags or good titles or whatever, your artistic thumbnails, content, it doesn't matter. That could be thrown out the window when you post up a video that gets you over 1,000 subs overnight. It can happen. I've seen it before. I've seen people get lucky, which is another thing we should talk about, because you were mentioning that about your keyboard unboxing video.
Yes.
So it's like that. I'm not saying like it's lucky that you got it or whatever, but I think you get the idea when I'm trying to.
Yeah. There were more things working in my favor than there were not, basically.
Yeah, and exactly, and you mentioned that it's because there wasn't enough people doing it, the content right, or nobody was doing it at all, and there was a bunch of people trying to look it up. So that works. That's great. That's excellent. And like I said, sometimes you just do get lucky. Like people will grow their channel like overnight. Some people, it's like a business. Sometimes it takes 2 years to blossom into something. Sometimes, Watch Mojo, it took him like 10 years to get like extreme content creating. 10 years to get to like 10 million subs or something, which is mind-boggling. But it's not easy, and it takes a lot of time. So they probably think they're a small channel too, compared to like PewDiePie or something. So it's just, you better watch out who you compare yourself to, people. It's a slippery slope. Yeah.
It's a huge thing, is comparing to yourself to other people who are massively more successful than you are. Like, if I were to, like, when I was starting out, if I were just constantly comparing myself to, Markiplier's. Markiplier, he's got so many subs and everyone loves him. Oh man, I bet all the ladies want to date him. Oh gosh, like I'm never gonna be like that. Well, I mean, if you think about it, if you go back to Markiplier's like first videos, it's like his old stuff. He started out just as awkward and just as not put together as anybody else who just decides to start a YouTube channel. The thing that separates people like him from the rest of us is the fact that he devotes an exceptional amount of time to it. And that's what makes the difference between extraordinary people and regular people. Is that they do the thing that's extraordinary about them is the fact that they devote everything about themselves into this thing that they want to shine at. And eventually some of them do shine at it, and sometimes they don't. Not everybody makes it, but it's one of those things that you're never really going to find out until you try. So just if you're a new channel and you're looking at other people's channels, like, oh man, this guy, how does he have so many more subscribers than me? Because I've even had people come at me with like 20 subscribers or something like this. Like, oh wow, you're a really successful channel. I'm like, are you? I don't think so. Like by my personal metric, like 418 subscribers, I think I'm at now. That's not like, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not huge. Like if you were to try to cram 400 plus people into one like room, yeah, sure, that would be a lot of people, but that's not how we're looking at it. We're looking at YouTube subscribers. So it really depends on how you look at it. And there's some things, some metrics you have to look at a certain way, and other metrics you just have to not. And it goes back to the whole mindset thing. Whereas, so if you're looking at somebody who has a lot of subscribers or more than you, instead of being like, oh man, I'm never going to get to that level as this person, instead just be like, okay, how do I get to the level of this person?
Like I can get there.
What's the first step to getting to this level? What's the first step to earning more subscribers? What's the first step to, obtaining them and keeping them, more importantly? And these are all things like, as far as like, search engine optimization tags and proper titling and stuff, that's all stuff you can learn. You can go on to a YouTube video, you can watch a YouTube video, you can read about it, you can learn all that crap as you go. However, your mindset, that's something that you directly have control over. And it's probably the biggest obstacle for a lot of people, especially creative people, because it's kind of going back to like what you were saying, like, just various reasons for people stopping their YouTube channel. A lot of people's reasons for stopping their YouTube channel is themselves. At some point, they just put up a wall and they said, I'm not going to be able to climb over this wall. I'm not going to be able to get over it. So why even bother? So then they just quit. And that's probably one of the most common things that I've heard of, and it's also one of the most dangerous things, because I mean, you your own self are your own harshest critics. So if you're tearing into yourself, then you are really going to tear into yourself. I mean, there's no comment out there that you'll get in your comment section that's going to be any worse than some of the worst things you've said to yourself, because it's just, after a while, it just starts to just get repeated, and then it just, you signal boost yourself in your brain, and just the more negative stuff you repeat to yourself in your head, the more likely you are to eventually believe it and accept that as your own personal truth. So just all the technical and all like the fancy schmancy stuff aside, like probably the biggest aspect of your channel is you, and that's probably one of the things you want to be taken care of the most. If you're so into your YouTube channel that you're not eating or sleeping and just working on videos, that's bad too. I mean, yeah, good on you for being devoted, but at the same time, you need some sleep. You need to eat. You're gonna die. You can't make videos if you're dead.
Need some vitamin D.
Right. Go outside, breathe some air. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I just call it wasted talent. That's what I call. That's what I call it. If a lot of big YouTubers or people that have to stop and stuff and all that. I mean, sorry, I'm giving them an excuse because I say have to stop, but I don't really know their exact reasons. But that's going into like all those people that subscribe to your content and stuff. I'm not saying like you should live your life to only cater to these people, right? But I'm like, but a lot of people look up to you and stuff, and they want to, they consider you some kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say like this huge leader or something, but leader in something, or, you know, it doesn't have to be big or medium or whatever. It could be small. And because there was something that they liked about you that inspired them and motivated them to click that one button, that one red button. Now, that one red button could be the end of you or the beginning of something good, the unsubscribe or the subscribe button. But it's one to me. I always see one subscriber I get as something like a victory, like something challenging. And also, if I lose something, if I lose a subscriber, I see it also as in how do I say it? Like an action of something. Like I'd rather have somebody, if it's despite it, if it's an inactive subscriber, that's fine or whatever. Like I'll never know. But if it's somebody that didn't like my content, and even if they don't say something about it, they at least did something. They at least did I would consider the respectful thing, as in like I'm not trying, like I said, I'm not trying to give them an excuse or anything, but the fact that they did some kind of action instead of just sitting there and just whatever, not doing anything interactive with the channel or saying hello or anything, trying to get to know me, then by all means get out of here. I don't want you.
Right.
you
don't
know,
want people who are just going to subscribe for just that one video, and then they realize that the rest of your videos aren't like the one video they subscribed for. And
exactly.
Like, oh, well, this is what I signed on for. That's fine. You know, because I mean it just kind of which kind of goes into one thing I wanted to bring up, and that's kind of having diversity as far as like your content, because it's like you were saying, I feel like we're kind of similar in the sense that we both like to be jacks of all trades. Like we like to, be involved in as many activities that interest us as possible. So I feel like I have that to attribute to my growth. Like not all my videos, because it's funny because when I first started YouTube, I honestly I just needed somewhere to host videos for my blog that I was writing. Like whenever I'd write something, and if I had a video that goes with it, I'd just plop it in the blog. But then eventually I was like, oh, maybe I should do Let's Plays. I'll try that. And I tried Let's Plays, and it turns out I freaking hate doing Let's Plays. I never know what to say.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I stopped doing that, and then just because I stopped doing Let's Plays, I still wanted to do gaming related stuff. So I would do things like, first impressions of games, where I would just kind of ramble about like my first 6 hours of blank. And then, then have the unboxing stuff too. I did unboxing videos for a while. I got some subscribers that way. And then response videos and just all kinds of different things. That's the thing. You just try out different things on your channel, because you never know. Sometimes you don't realize you're into something until the very second it's like, oh, I'm really into this.
Yeah, exactly.
I should do more of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the main thing is, okay, gaming YouTube channels. I think the reason why people are so upset about their quote small channels is that a lot of them are just doing the same stuff. And now I know it's impossible to be original, but the amount of people that do Let's Plays, and I'm one of them, that do Let's Plays on their channel is just, it's so I'm going to use this term. I'm going to use infested, because it really is. YouTube is infested with people doing Let's Plays and posting just them playing a game.
Right.
It really is. It really is. And it's been like that since day one. So the chances of you being on the number one, the chances of you being on average, like in the top 10 pages of a certain game, or just games all in general, is pretty slim. So that's kind of the lesson I learned when I was doing this duo channel. Like it was, Game Grumps inspired type channel with my roommate, is that our subscriber base was the most we got was 139, and that was like in a span of 2.5 years, which is really, to me, that's really not that great. But I knew why. We were just complacent, and that's what happens. I don't want to really do too much. Although we did have some variety stuff in there and all that, and maybe a couple skits or whatever. But it still didn't change the core dynamic of what our channel was all about. It's just us doing this silly banter and playing a game. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Game Grumps inspired a ton of people to do duo channels and just Let's Plays in general, because they were masters in their craft. So it was a crazy movement. But if you're a channel that's like, if you're a person that's like, well, this other person's doing Let's Plays, it's like, and they're getting subscribers. What am I doing that's different? And I'm like, well, it's probably you.
Right.
It's probably you and your timing, and it's just too many slots to fill. Like,
right.
This is why this is what I like to do on my channel now. I do a bunch of informative stuff. People that actually look up this stuff. People that try to stay with the current events that are happening. That's where the most stuff is going on. That's where the most news is. That's where the most searches will go up. I mean, you can do it with games, but I'm telling you, people who, I mean, it's just if you're really trying to avoid big time YouTubers, if you're a YouTuber yourself and you like watching smaller channels, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you, folks, the average YouTuber, if they want to look up anything gaming related, they're going to look up the top-notch people, number one page or top 3 pages. That's just how it is. That's just the mentality. That's just how YouTube, that's just how their platform is. That's just something you're going to have to deal with. So just think of how you're going to be found in a Let's Play, if you have a Let's Play channel. That's why with me, the reason why I don't think I've really gotten any, to be honest, really any subscribers from my Let's Plays. I'm just going to be flat out honest. But as soon as I started doing videos that were informative, that was gaming related, informative, stuff that people would look up, showing my face, this is just a me thing, but I think if you want to really, really connect with your YouTube audience, is to show your face. Show who you are. Show what kind of energy you bring to the table, and show how you react to certain different types of platforms. Like, sometimes people want to see how you deal with the camera in front of you. You know, they want to see what your room looks like, or how you look like, or whatever. What type of, what charismatic things do you have? I'm just, you know, you don't have to be charismatic, but you know. It's good for people to see that you're an actual person, not just a voice. Yeah. Now, voices are just fine because there's plenty of platforms of commentary. I mean, Nero, you've done a few face cam stuff, right?
I do have I do have a vlog series that I do, and that's all face cam, But for the most part, usually with my rambles and stuff like that, I'll just have game footage rolling in the background just because. One reason is because it's a little more dynamic. It's a little more eye-catching. And also just a lot of those types of videos that I do, you don't necessarily need to be looking at my face while I'm talking.
Exactly.
So it's kind of something that you can, if you want to, you can just minimize it and just go about your business while you're listening to me ramble on about whatever it is I'm rambling on. Yeah. So it really depends on the specific video I'm doing. Like if it's something like, oh, hey, I got a new mic. For example, I did a vlog on that, and because people should probably see the actual mic that I'm talking about and how I have it set up and whatnot. So it really just depends on. It comes down to the content, but that also just comes down to you as a content creator knowing your content and just kind of just going with what works best. And it's like you were saying, like you were doing something for a while, you were doing your Let's Plays, then you switch it up, and then hey, all of a sudden my subscriber count's going up. I should probably keep doing this thing because that's giving me more subscribers. That's basically in the very, very, very most basic form, that is marketing. You try one thing, see if it works, see if it attracts people, and if it doesn't, try something else. If you're really fancy about it, you can try 2 things at once and see which one works better. But really, it's all trial and error is what it comes down to.
Yeah. And I like doing Let's Plays. Like, I think I'm pretty decent at commentating and stuff and adding my own flair to it. And like you were saying, I like to have a channel that's dynamic. It's like, there are some people that really like watching Let's Plays. There are some people that like informative stuff where it has your face in it. Now, I will admit, I only do like close-up versions of myself, like where I fill up most of the screen when it's like an announcement or something. But if I'm doing something on like Mass Effect or anything BioWare related, because that's, I guess I'm just a BioWare guy right now, or EA or whatever. I like to zoom myself out and then have the article that I'm talking about up on the screen, and then have something in the background as well, or So it's just. I mean, to me, I think it's working because that's where the most
format too, though. It's a good format to follow because I mean, and that's another thing. You look at what other people have done that works, and then you just kind of replicate it and then put your own kind of like style and flair on it,
Yeah, and like I said, you want to keep your channel dynamic. Like, think of it like this: if you're gonna show your channel, let's just say you're at a convention. I mean, you don't even have to be at a convention. There's got to be a video that really defines what kind of person you are, or what you're bringing to the table. To me, honestly, I don't think I mean, actually, I know that Let's Plays aren't a very good eye opener or first impression of your channel. To me, it'd be something that really shows how creative you can be and how intelligent you are, or some way to actually show that you have skills, you know? Because anybody can do a Let's Play. I mean, I can just record a video of a Let's Play and just say one or two things. I'm like, oh, that's me playing a game. I'm playing the game and saying one or two things per minute. That's a Let's Play. Okay. It's too easy. You got to do things that are hard for you, especially. If you were going to do things that keeps you in a complacent mood, it's okay if it's working, but even if it wasn't working, I strongly suggest that you don't keep doing. It's kind of hard it's really weird. It's like it goes both ways. So if you're doing something that works, why try to fix it, right? Just keep doing it. But it's also good to add other things that people might also be interested in, because you never know. You never know. And then one day when you get to the point, which to me is how I see this is the main question. It's like, when do you get out of the small channel mentality, right? When do you consider?
That's an excellent question too.
And my personal thing is, once everybody starts appreciating everything you do on your YouTube channel, where your views balance out and not are so one-sided, you know, where it's like the scale is super heavy on one side and then the other side of your channel is like, eh. But once everybody starts appreciating a lot of the stuff you're doing, or the majority, to me, that's when I know my channel is successful. Because there are people out there, my subscribers want to see everything I do. They want to see me tackle these different obstacles and how I do this subject or how I perform on this. And to me, that's the main successful point. It's going to take a long time to get there, because, I mean, also I think it's once you start getting fan mail, but, you know, that's just me.
Yeah. For me, that's really interesting that you brought that up, because just that whole kind of small channel mindset, because I'm sure there are people out there who have loads more subscribers than we do, but then they're like, no, I still got a pretty small channel, you know? Like for me personally, whenever I put up a video that I'm really, really proud of, and I get comments in the comments section saying, oh man, this guy's production value is really good. Like, I don't know why he doesn't have like thousands of subscribers. Once I stop getting comments like that, then I'll know that I don't have a small channel anymore. When people start saying, man, this guy has all the subscribers he deserves. Once I start getting comments like that.
Those comments are the best, because it's like, haha, thanks, man, teardrop.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, I wish I knew why. I wish I knew how to. But it's pretty humbling. You know, it's pretty great to hear that stuff. But yeah, once you get comments and stuff that are discussing about your video in particular, that actually that are from actual normal YouTubers, not just YouTubers, just viewers in general, that don't have YouTube channels, right? Or, you know what I'm talking about, that don't actually make content or whatever. They're just there to subscribe and have an account to do that. If you just have a channel that only has YouTubers that make content only comment on you, that's fine and all, but just by personal, I'm going with anecdotal here. Just by personal experience, it's not always the best thing, because it's also really, really, really great to have random people that don't make content comment on your stuff and talk about what you said. Because to me, those are the people that have the most time, to be honest, because they're not. I mean, when it comes to like watching YouTube and stuff, I'm not saying like outside of YouTube, they're probably heart surgeons saving lives or something or whatever, taking cats out of fire buildings or whatever, like firefighters saving cats out of a building or something. something heroic like that, which is great and all, but it's really great to get those people that are I guess the norm. I don't want to label them, but just like the common folk or the normies.
Just kind of like the general public.
Yeah, the general.
I kind of see what you're saying, because the thing is, when you have when you make because if you're on YouTube long enough, you're gonna run in certain circles, you're gonna make friends, and they're gonna subscribe to you, of course. But these people are also running their own channels. They're also making their own videos. They don't always necessarily have time to.
They're busy.
Oh, hey, I think I'm gonna go check out Nero's video because I have nothing else to do right now. I'm not working on a channel or anything. Like that's one thing. And then also on the other end of that, I've gotten situations before where I'll like make friends with someone, subscribe to their channel, and then like I'll get like a random message from like, hey, I put up a new video. Did you watch it yet? I'm like, what? No. Like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe like I don't know. I might watch it. Just this is awkward.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. So once you start getting people that are kind of more like that just kind of happen across your video, and then they're like, oh well, I found this video while I was looking for blank, but then I found this, so I subscribed because your video was cool. That's like that's what we call that's what's in the industry. It's one that's known as organic reach. So that's just people just naturally just coming to your channel and subscribing and staying and watching the stuff that you put out. So but definitely you definitely want to be able to figure out just kind of like a technical level, like what kind of tags you need, where you need to post, when you need to post in order to naturally catch people's eye. And this kind of bleeds into something that I'm always just yapping to people about when they're asking me how they can get more views or how they can, up the chances for them to have their videos seen. I always tell them the same things. I'm like, are you posting on more than one social media platform? Are you posting on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus? I know no one uses Google Plus, but there actually are people out there who use Google Plus. So, I mean, there's Google Plus, there's a blog. I tell people to start blogs and a lot of people like look at me, they're like, well, what good is posting my videos somewhere else that's not on YouTube going to do me? But here's the thing though. When people log into YouTube and they go to their recommended page, YouTube's going to recommend to them whatever the hell YouTube wants to recommend to them that day. Yeah. If you have a social media outlet or like a Facebook page or a Twitter account or even a blog, then when people go to that page, they're going to see the stuff that you put up there. So you're more in control of what people are seeing, which is why that's part of why actually the main reason I started my YouTube channel was because I wanted to. When I first started my blog, I was like, I'm going to be a game journalist. Yeah, cool. And I'm like, I know how to write. I like games. Cool. But there's a lot more to it than that, obviously. But you got to start somewhere. So anyways, I was just hosting my videos on my blog. And when you go to my blog, you're going to see all the videos on my channel that I want you to see, because I have, I'll admit it, I have my little, bullshit nonsense videos that's just like a 30-second clip of me like dying in a game in a funny way. But that's not necessarily something I want someone to necessarily stumble across. If somebody does stumble across and subscribes because of it, great.
Exactly.
But for the most part, it's just kind of like filler, I guess. So that's just kind of one big recommendation I could recommend to everyone out there is just to get your videos on as many platforms as possible. They don't necessarily have to be like another video hosting site.
They don't have to be successful. It's called networking. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And my thing is, you never know. You never know when some big YouTuber or some sponsor or some celeb, who I don't even know, you name it, could stumble onto your video, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, YouTube, Instagram. Doesn't matter, because in the end, you're not gonna care. You're gonna be like, oh snap. You're gonna be like, oh wow, I have this person who liked this video, a big time person or whatever, and he wants to, let's just say, best case scenario, he wants to sign an agreement with me, or he wants to do this, sign me on to something where it could help my channel grow or something. You never know. And that's, like I said, YouTube is just another profession that you can get into. It's just like, playing at a show with your bandmates. There could be a record label guy there, or a producer, or somebody, and they so happen to stumble upon you playing at this different platform. Then holy shit, good for you. He's interested in you. It's great. I mean, all it takes is one person, right? It takes one person to like spark, and then you could just explode. That's my explosion noise. It's really windy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, a lot of people treat YouTube as their end game when they should really be looking at it as more of an opportunity to achieve your end game, whatever that ends up being.
Yeah, it's got to go hand in hand. That's why I do Twitch a lot too, because Twitch is it goes very hand on hand with YouTube.
Absolutely.
There are so many big time. I'm not saying you should go into Twitch, but if you want to help yourself, maybe get more well known on a different platform, Twitch, by all means, you should do it. It's free.
It's funny that you say that, because I have a buddy who he had his YouTube channel, and he just wasn't gaining the momentum that he wanted to. He had been on it for like a year or two or something like that, and then eventually he was talking to someone about it, and then they were like, well, maybe YouTube's not for you, and then he got so upset, like he was like devastated by this.
The truth.
And then here's the thing though, he was looking at it like, I think in the wrong way at the time, because he heard maybe YouTube's not for you, he heard maybe just quit, but he started doing Twitch. Several months down the line, he got a PS4 and everything. He started doing Twitch, and now he's gaining a following pretty rapidly too. Yeah. So then it was funny because I just DM'd him the other day. I was like, hey, remember when dude said that YouTube's not for you? He was right. Twitch is your thing. Holy crap.
Yeah, exactly. And that, like I said, you gave it a shot and you want to try something else, and oh wow, look what happened. And Twitch is great. And it's good. Like I said, it's good to just have multiple platforms and to find you, right? I mean, you got Google search engine, because Google owns YouTube. You got YouTube. You got all the other platforms. You got Patreon. You got Twitter, Instagram, blah blah blah. So you name it. There's always a possibility, and like it could happen. Maybe very slim. You could win the lottery on YouTube and you get popular, but. The odds are against you though for that to happen. But if it does happen for you in any type of shape or form, whether it be 100 subscribers, 1,000, 100,000, good for you. Like, awesome. I'm glad that you did it. But if it doesn't happen, just keep chugging along. Keep chugging along and keep trying to invent new ways to make your channel interesting. Try to keep people awake. Stay relevant. That's another thing. Stay relevant to what people care about. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you should only do videos that only people look up, because you don't want to lose your identity in the process. But it never hurts to try to be relevant. It never hurts to do it, because it will help. And like I said, it's worked for me. So it might work for you. I'm not saying it will, but it might, because like I said, informative stuff, a lot of people like looking that stuff up. It's just the truth. People like looking up news type stuff. Not everybody likes to go on poopy GameSpot and poopy IGN. Okay, not everybody likes to do that.
I'll usually look into them for like the big headlines, and then I'll look up other stories that people have written.
Like rock paper shotgun or something, or Metro.uk or something like that. I remember GameSpy was a website I used to go on a lot. I don't know if they still exist, but maybe. What is it called? Newgrounds still exists, so probably. So I just want to one last. Let's see. Well, we'll have closing thoughts or whatever, because you might have stuff you want to add. But the last thing I want to talk about is the organization of your channel. Aha! So this is how I see my channel. You treat it like your bedroom. You keep it tidy, you organize it, you fold your laundry, you do your dirty laundry, you fold it, make everything look nice, you dust your room and everything. Because your room, we're talking about real life now, your room defines who you are, to be honest, because it's your specific man cave. It's your man cave. It's your design, your personality, your smell, for one, and how it looks and how you take care of it is really how it's going to affect on how you take care of things in other ways, shapes, or form, like other platforms. And YouTube is one of those things. Nero talks about playlists, having specific playlists on your channel. What do you want people to see first when they click you? Because when they click you, they see the top of your page. They see the main video you have, the intro, whatever type presentation movie you have on the front of it. And then right below it, they're not gonna scroll all the way down because it's like a resume. They're only gonna care about the most important things, like the first 10 seconds of your channel. So they see it, they scroll down. They're probably the most likely are gonna be seeing like they want to see what you're. To me, I at least when I go to YouTube channels, I want to see what the most popular video they have. I want to see the popular uploads, and I want to see their recent uploads. Right, I want to see what they've been doing. And I want to see what they're all about. And I think the most viewed stuff gives you a good idea of how successful they've been in that particular field or topic they were talking about. So presentation value is crazy when it comes to that. Because like I said, first impression. And if you make it look nice and tidy, if you have a nice banner, a nice logo or bookmark, watermark, whatever, and everything looks nice, people have an easy time directing themselves. If they don't trip over your dirty laundry or step on a knife that you left in your room or a dirty dishes or something, they're gonna have a good time. They shouldn't be treading on thin ice at your channel. And like I said, that goes hand in hand with, analogy is your room. You sort your room out, and you sort yourself out, and then you're going to start sorting other stuff out. This is philosophy here. And philosophy goes with marketing. Marketing, people are trying to think what other people would think. Let's see, I'm a little redundant here. On how they would see your channel. It's like, if I went to Nero's channel, what would I want to see? What type of impression would I want? And I think cleanliness, channel hygiene is a big deal.
I like that,
but
I might use that.
Yeah,
channel hygiene.
Yeah, you should. It's definitely a thing. If you have an organized channel, it's nice. It's nice to see that because it's like I'm pretty sure that if they're tidy like this, then they're probably taking care of themselves in real life. Depending on how much you dedicate your YouTube channel, that's what we were talking about before. If you dedicate too much to your YouTube channel and you're kind of neglecting other things like your wife or something, or feeding your cat or eating, that's bad. That's when you're addicted, and that's like that's never a good thing. That's greed. But yeah, and also when you're going to a channel, it's what are you looking for, right? When you're, especially if you're a small YouTuber, like what do you want people to look for when they come to your channel? What do you want them to see? What's the main aspect about you that you want them to see? Do you want them to see that you have high energy, or you're a D-bag, or you're just some kind of try-hard that just has all these gazillion ads in one video and just spam, mass tagging? Direct messaging. And by the way, I forgot, that was one other thing I want to talk about. But yeah, channel hygiene is very important. Presentation value is huge. Dress to impress. Give those people that stumble, whether it be a miraculous stumble onto your channel or the common or the general public or whoever, you want to give them a firm handshake and be like, I mean business. I'm serious. I'm serious about this. This is my thing. This is my baby. I created this with the help of YouTube and many friends. So yeah, and talk. I guess we can ease in. If you wanted to add anything, by all means. But I did want to talk about the mass tagging thing. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I think you pretty much covered everything. Just I guess if there's anything I could add, I would just say, if you are looking to get more serious about your channel, definitely pay attention to your analytics. If you are a person who uses your mobile a lot, download the YouTube Studio app because it gives you just all the important stuff that you need to know, just all in one little kind of a screen. More importantly, you want to look at the Discovery tab because that tells you where people are coming from in order to find your channel, whether it's the YouTube search, whether it's Google, whether it's some other source.
Perfect.
So just stay informed, stay on top of your numbers, just keep an eye on them. Don't sweat over them if they go down because numbers, if whatever goes up has to come down at some point. So I mean,
someday you might sell 10 sandwiches at your deli. Some days you might sell 100.
Just don't stop making sandwiches, though. It doesn't mean
yeah, exactly. I just really like that comparison. That was great.
I thought that was pretty nice.
So, Yeah. One last thing I wanted to talk about, Nero, was was the mass tagging, and the reason why I want to talk about it is because I was one of those people that
Ah,
probably did it. Well, how do I describe this? I didn't do it like a crazy amount, but I will admit I did do the mass tagging. And my philosophy is that, well, at least with me, this is how I see it. I'm one of those people that like to be tagged in videos and stuff because I maybe it's like maybe like an appreciation of like, hey, I was included to this birthday party, you know, I wasn't left out on this invite. So I'm glad I was tagged. And I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out. I don't know. With me, it kind of motivates me to check it out. I'm like, yeah, cool. They took the time to type in a few letters, but you know, that's a big deal. And I was included, so it's fun. Just like Zero scores like Final Fantasy IX story play. You know, I'm tagged in that sometimes and stuff like that. It's great. I like that, but obviously there's a fine line, and just going through my journey on YouTube and finding out. Obviously, people don't like it when you post spam. Hey, check out my channel on big YouTubers or whatever, because they do it all the time. The people spam business links, YouTube links all over. I mean, that's probably why PewDiePie got rid of his comment section. Well, this was a while ago, but he got rid of his comment section because that's probably what people were doing half the time. It's just getting out of control, which kind of sucked because it's like, man, people like talking though. But at the same time, yeah, it gets crazy like that. Yeah, spamming is, you don't want to spam. You don't want to be. My thing is, it's okay to be annoying and let people know that you're there and all, and it's nothing wrong doing it maybe once or twice, but 3 times you might strike out, and depending on how rapid you do it, how consistent, then yeah, people will get angry. So be careful when you're doing that. For example, I done some mass tags like a couple years ago. I used to do it all the time, and so many mass tags. I don't know how many. I would just tag almost everyone on my Twitter. And like I said, it's a learning process, but I would get the occasional person that doesn't say anything, doesn't view it, which is perfectly fine because whatever, they just shrug it off. And I get some people that get angry about it. And I never tagged this person ever in my entire life. I don't know what happened in their day that made them so hostile or whatever, but it happens. It's normal. People get mad. And though I've been unfollowed, I've been blocked before because of it. And then you're like, oh. Then they're like, and then my defense is that I just wanted you. I'm like, yeah, appreciate you commenting back. I kind of play it off professionally, and that's where it really matters with you as a YouTuber, small channel with like mass tags and stuff, or just with any type of thing. When people get angry at you for something, it really makes a difference in how professional you handle yourself, how poised you are, because I stopped replying to people's comments when it comes to like informative stuff because there will be people because it's mainly opinion stuff. Although I do fact before opinion, but I add in my own take and what my thoughts are, and not everybody's going to agree with it. That's fine, but I'm not going to sit here and debate this person and this person and this person because debating over comments like via text. That's just a waste of time. That's just not, to me, it's not going to get anywhere. I like debating in person to person or voice to voice. That's better. But, it's just a never ending death pit if you do it like that. So that's why I kind of stopped doing that commenting stuff, whatever. I even allow the spam comments on my YouTube channel. I don't care because they took the time to spam me. But they're not doing it consistent. If they did it consistently, then I'd have a problem. That's what you were talking about before. Yeah, if it's consistent, I understand. But yeah, it's okay to be annoying, but don't be annoying if too much. It's like do a couple pokes at somebody, and you'd be like, what do you want? And then it's like, hey, here's the thing. I'm like, oh, okay. And if they decide to see it, then it's fine. But if they don't, move on. Leave them alone.
Yeah, annoy people who are okay with being annoyed.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, it's very much like you were saying. It comes down to knowing the individual a lot of the time. Like, for example, like you were saying with Zero Scores Final Fantasy series, he'll tag everyone that was in that particular episode, and that's a cool thing because that makes sense too. Because this person that he's tagging wants to be tagged because it's a video that they voice acted in, and they want to see it once it goes live. So
yeah, exactly.
That kind of makes sense. But if you're just doing it just over and over and over again, just for no reason, like there's this Oh, there's this one kid. He would always tag me just saying the randomness stuff. But he would tag me. He would tag Angry Joe. He would tag Jake Baldino from Game Regs. He would tag just all these. He was just I don't know. I don't know what his mentality was, but I even just like kind of like DM'd him on the side. I'm like, hey, dude, just take it easy with that kind of stuff because it's just really easy to just get on bets. And you don't want to annoy them and make them leave. You know, like why would you want to do that? So it's just. There's definitely a time to do the mass tagging thing and the time not to, which is kind of like where Follow Friday comes from. You know, it's like, hey, I'm tagging all these people, like you should follow them because it's Friday and Follow Friday, alliteration, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah.
But yeah. I'm glad that I'm glad you learned that lesson though. I mean, because it's because now. Because before you didn't know. You thought from your perspective, you thought you were being inclusive and including people on your experience and things like that. But it's just going back to it depends on the person. It
really does. Yeah.
If it's something like if I see something goofy that reminds me of a specific group of people, then I'll post it and be like, hey, blank, 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 and blank. Remember that one time we did this? This totally reminds me of that. That kind of thing.
Yeah. And
I have another buddy actually. He does the mass tagging thing, but he only ever does it when there's a free game being offered online. If it's like from Humble Bundle or whatever. Yeah. So everyone loves him for doing stuff like that. So
and
you're posting too.
Like even in it doesn't even have to be Twitter or something. It can be like in Discord or something. People mass tag people all the time. It's like stop doing it so much. Just post it, and then if people see it, they see it. It's whatever. Right. And there is the main great thing about tagging is that it's very precise. It's very particular. Because a lot of people they follow a bunch of people and they just, the chances are they're going to see your stuff just very slim because when you're on your phone, you're on the go, you're just on your computer, you're just going to scroll down. And it's like, oh, here's a video. It's going to happen. So the great thing about tagging people is that it gets their attention because there's no person is going to, it's impossible to avoid, right? You just go on Twitter and be like, hey, I've been tagged by somebody. I'm like, what's this all about? And there you go. You got their attention. Now it's up to that person if they want to, I wouldn't say fall for it, but decide if they want to go through with it, if they want to give you a chance or whatever. Now, it may be a shitty feeling if that person didn't give you a chance because it's just whatever because they're not going to tell you why half the time. But the fact that you got their attention, you got their attention because, like I said, there's no way to avoid it per se. And you should just take that as a victory and be like, okay, that person didn't like it or didn't say anything about it or whatever, and that's fine. Then just move on to the next person.
Pretty much.
But if you're gonna poke people, don't poke them with knives or some shit. Don't twist the knife in them. Okay, don't put a knife in them that make them regret it.
Poke them with something pleasant, like I don't know.
If you're gonna, make the tags relevant to what these people might be doing. Maybe like gamers, they might like this current stuff. They might like watching Fortnite or Far Cry or maybe some crazy new console was announced or something. Something that could be easier on the eyes per se that might give you a better chance.
Yeah.
But if it's I'm sorry, people. If it's Let's Plays, good luck.
Good luck, very much so. Unless you have people literally chomping at the bit, waiting for, oh man, I got to get this next episode of this Let's Play. Then
exactly.
I wouldn't recommend something like that. That's where you're probably just better off just putting it in a playlist and then just tweeting it. And then if somebody comes across it and if they do click on the video, hey, they're already in your playlist, so every video after that's going to play.
Yep. Oh, that's so true. It's very true. Okay, so I think I don't know if I said this in the beginning. Crap, I don't think I did. But the main reason why I wanted to do this video with Nero is because my response for a comment on his, which will be links below, to his small channel talk videos would have been like it would have gone on forever. It would have been like a story. So I wanted to do this in respect to him and to offer my my side of it and talking about it, because talking with people is fun and socializing is great.
Definitely.
So it's a good. I like to be respectful in that regard. So once again, thank you, NeroTheHero, for your time and effort and for being here.
Indeed, sir. Thank you for having me.
It's been an honor, and yeah, like I said, the links are gonna be below if you want to contact NeroTheHero or anything related. He's a cool guy. He's a great guy. Get to know him. He'd probably most likely want to get to know you. Just be careful if you're gonna poke him with something nice.
Yes, poke him with nice things.
No innuendos whatsoever.
No, it's gonna be out of context. I just let it out there.
Poke him with anything that's nice. But yeah, Nero, if you have any last closing statements, by all means, if you want to end it right there.
No, just want to thank you again for having me, and for all you guys out there that have been listening to us go on. First of all, just thanks for sticking with us, because it's I don't know about you, but I tend to ramble a lot. But every once in a while, I say something that's worth hearing. So, thanks for getting this far in the video. And
yeah,
if you are a small channel out there and you're wherever you're at, whether you're just beginning, whether you've been doing it for a while, like just kind of just ask yourself if it's something that you, first of all, ask if it's something you really want to do. And then second of all, just figure out ways to keep yourself motivated. Keep finding different ways to just fall in love with what you're doing. And that just kind of goes with anything out there, though. So
yep. If you consider yourself small, like Nero said in his previous videos, it doesn't mean that other people see you as a small channel. It's just eye of the beholder, my friends. So good luck, and good luck to Nero, and good luck to myself on trying to fulfill our goals, not just in YouTube, but just in anything in life. So this has been a fun marketing 101 video about small channels on YouTube. All right, take care, everyone.
class dismissed.